Well, hello everyone. I'm Jay. That's Evan. This is the Fifth Tile Podcast where we talk about gaming and goofiness and all kinds of crazy stuff.
I painted a model and I pushed it on the table
I'm
and I
Crazy
lost.
Jay. I paint models. Watch me paint a model. Beep 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 boop boop.
Beep, beep,
Beep,
beep,
bop,
beep, beep,
bop,
beep,
bop,
beep.
paint paint paint.
But yeah, welcome back. We're back for another week. Jay and I are hot off the tails of an MCP tournament. Um,
Oh, what? Tell
that
them
was
all about it, son.
that was hosted by the Professional Casuals. They're like the big MCP group
They're a bunch
that
of
does like
losers.
podcasting and streaming.
Nobody likes
Also,
those guys.
very nice guys.
No, they're the meanest.
No, they're the meanest. It was an LVO qualifier.
Yep.
It was scheduled for 3 rounds, ended up going four because
Yep.
they don't allow. It's like called like challenger rules, where it's like there has to be a definitive winner. They can't have like two 3-0s and one win by strength. Um, I brought Guardians of the Galaxy. Jay brought the Avengers affiliation.
All
Uh,
good guys, because I don't play bad guys, dog.
and I brought only people who are Guardians of the Galaxy affiliated. So no, apparently there's something like you do Thanos with a couple of the time and reality stone, and then Guardians, and it's like really kind of OP nuts. Nah, man, get Thanos wouldn't work with the Guardians. Guardians don't work with Thanos. He's not on my
Yeah.
team. I know
Yeah.
you can, but I feel like why am I even playing a superhero game if I can't just
I
like
don't know.
play the good guys? So I did that. I actually spent uh like a real time week getting them all painted and based, and broke my table out of the storage. So I have a board and a mat of all the space stuff for the Guardians. I've got a little toy Milano that goes with them. I had a
Yep.
speaker that
Yep.
played
Yep.
the soundtrack while we played. Uh,
Yeah, you
so
did
yeah, no,
great.
it was good. That was pretty good. That little
Yeah,
speaker was like $20, man. Played the whole day. Like,
it was good.
dang.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
loud too.
yeah,
I mean, not loud like obnoxious, but
yeah.
like loud like for a little itty bitty speaker. It was
It's just a little
something.
Bluetooth. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
put it in the Milano, and then so I could just pop the cockpit open and have that thing just blaring out to ooga chaka, ooga 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 chaka. Uh, but no, I went 2-2. Um, no, it was good. I remembered that I did like the game quite a bit.
Yeah.
I remember things I really liked about the game, things I really didn't like about the game.
Yeah.
But I have to say, after the card pack update, that seemed to have fixed a lot of my core gripes of some of the missions.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I had no idea. I'd never played before this tournament. We did the thing that Evan does now, where he decides what game he likes. He builds himself a little army, and then without any practice, he just goes right to the tournament and figures it out. I think it's a good way to do it. I was really, I know it sounds insane, but it actually encouraged me to like read the rules and to like, Tim from the Professional Casuals actually got like a little teaching lesson learning game. I wouldn't call it a game. We didn't play very long, but like basically here's the rules and here's how you play. I did that right before the tournament, and then the 4 games we played at the tournament were my first 4 games. um and so, it was great. I had a ton of fun. It seems like that community is really cool
Hmm.
for the most part. And so that was good. I like the Avengers a lot. I didn't know, I guess they're low key good. And so I didn't really know that. That's not why I picked them. Evan knows since we picked up MCP during
Yeah,
right
you've just played Avengers from the beginning,
yeah,
and we
right
were talking
before
about it. Yeah.
COVID, my whole because I just want to do the movies. I used to be a huge Marvel Comics fan. Maybe like 15, 20 years ago. I like after I got out of high school, and then like into my early 20s. I was really getting into the comic books, like the Civil War and stuff was one of the eras I was really deep into, and so I haven't really been into the comics in 15 years, 20 years almost. I haven't really but I really like the MCU. Not so much anymore. The last few movies have been kind of bunkus, but I liked leading all those stuff leading up to Endgame, and Infinity War and Endgame are still some of my favorite movies ever made.
Yeah, yeah,
And Captain America: Civil War, like there's some of the best movies for to me, anyways. And so yeah, we bought in. I think it was right during COVID, like right at the beginning of COVID, because it was kind of like, hey, you can't see anybody. But Evan and I were doing the podcast and doing some stuff, so we were just like, you know what? If it's just me and you and we wear masks, we'll be all right. And so we were gonna play MCP, and I bought in hard, and I built a New York City table, and then from the beginning, I basically told Evan, I'm like, I just want to play the Avengers. I don't care if they're good. That's just who I want to play. Um, and so I had most of them put together and primed, and I have about five of them painted. So so we definitely still playing Avengers, and we went into this weekend, and I just said, listen, I don't care if Avengers are good. It's what I'm playing. I like them. I like the idea of having the Avengers on the table, and I like the idea of playing good guys. And one of
yeah.
the weird things about MCP is you you can have an affiliation, which gives like certain players have leadership abilities if they're part of an affiliation. Like, so for instance, for mine, I have Captain America Steve Rogers. Now I have a bunch more coming, but I have Captain America Steve Rogers as my leader, and so like all Avengers, anyone who's an Avengers in the affiliation spends one less power when they're buying their superpowers. Which, so if you haven't played
Very
MCP,
good.
powers is kind of like the currency of how it
Yeah.
powers like all their cards and like picking up objectives and all their superpowers. And so it's a really good ability. I had no idea until I played this weekend. I was like, oh, that's really nice. And quite frankly, I forgot it like 3 or 4 times when I was like playing. I kept doing, oh yeah, this is 2 power, and then luckily we had some pretty cool people there. They're like, no, it's 1 power, man. I was like, I'm rich. And like, I got so much power. This is only one now, and they're like, yeah, because of Captain America. And I was like, oh my god. I have to tell you all, and Evan, this hasn't worn off since Saturday. I am completely smitten with the game. I was walking around Saturday going, I love this game, and I'm quitting all the podcasts, and we're only doing MCP from now on. That's how much I enjoyed the time. I enjoyed the game. I think the things that some people like Evan or Kyle Dornbos from the Notorious Scoundrels podcast, that they don't like about the game are the things I like about the game. Like Evan does not really enjoy the dice variants, and I think I was talking to Nick Brobnar Bodnar from Legion 99 about it too, and he said, yeah, the dice variance was a problem for him too. I liked it because I think it. Here's my problem that I have sometimes with Legion is there's so much going on that I'm can get lost at times, and so someone like you or Kyle can really take advantage of the fact of like the strategic behind the strategy behind, I know if I attack Jay's this with this unit, I'm gonna average out 5 hits, and that'll be able, you know what I mean, like it's the mathematics behind the rolling and stuff like is not really my jam. And so this kind of takes that off the table a little bit and helps me more focus up on like, okay, oh, my character does this and this is super cool and could potentially do a lot or none, but I'm going to do it anyways and see what happens, and I just liked that better overall.
That's fair. Yeah, it has some like I don't hate the game. Like I still want to play it again. Like, and I'm looking at like I bought Guardians, and they're going to be my main force I played. But I was looking at like X Force. So okay, uh, if you look at like re-rolling dice is really good in anything, right? Like
Yep.
that's just period. Re-roll dice, get better odds. So I'm like, well, who does that? And it's like X Force. I think Wakanda does that too. That's their team building with Black Panther, their affiliation. X forces you get to reroll an attack die
Mm.
and or defense die. I gotta reread it. I'm a little phased, but like, and Cable's their leader, and I'm like, oh, Cable's cool. And so X Force is like Cable, Deadpool, Wolverine. Actually, I've got let me pull this up here.
I
There's
think
a
Wolverine's in Avengers and Defenders. He's in like 30 teams. Wolverine's in all
oh
the
yeah, well he
teams.
was like to be fair, he was like everywhere, right? Like Wolverine is all over the place. So let me pull Cerebro is like the list builder right now for the game. Let me do this X Force. Pull that up. Okay, yeah, so Cable is the leader. Wetworks is the affiliation bonus. Each allied character may reroll one die in their attack rolls once per turn. That's really good.
Mm.
And so you've got cool characters like Cable, Colossus, Deadpool, Domino, Honey Badger, Psylocke, Sabretooth, Wolverine, X-23. And how you get the affiliation bonus in MCP is you just have to have more. You have to have 51% of your list
51%,
needs to
yeah.
be of that affiliation. I forgo that and just go 100% when I make lists.
Yeah.
To me, it's like they're the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like Dormammu wouldn't be like. I mean, Dormammu's a bad example because he takes over his affiliation, but like I wouldn't. Red Skull is not going to be with the Guardians of
Right.
the Galaxy, right? Like
Right.
it's just to me, it just doesn't make sense. Even though that's the theme of the benefit of the game is you're not army locked out. So if you really wanted to play Anakin in
Yeah.
Legion and you play droid, CIS, you're not.
Well, and
That's
now
not a thing that's not
I don't
available to
think
you.
you even have like the affiliation's nice to get the bonus of the leaders, so you're encouraged to do it, but I don't think you have to, right? You could just do whatever.
I
Or
think you have to have
have the
one.
51 oh one and
One, you
then
have to have a affiliation
okay.
bonus. I
Uh,
think. Actually, I don't know. I suppose you could go without, but that
yeah,
seems.
that seems crazy.
Yeah. Because the bonuses are so good. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
why why wouldn't you take it? So I was looking at that and like I start looking at other ones and I'm like, oh, X-Men Gold, X-Men, this would be fun. And I'm like, Evan, just stay
Yeah.
strong, stay Guardians, and
Right.
but
Well, like the thing about Avengers and so originally I looked at Avengers and Defenders. So Defenders is more they got a little mystical in there because Doctor Strange
yeah.
is their leader, right? But like they're more like they're kind of like the supernatural / low level like
Yeah,
street level. And so I was kind of looking at them too, but Avengers alone, you have Steve Rogers, Captain America, Sam Wilson, Captain America, Hulkbuster, Ant-Man, Beast, Black Panther, Black Widow, Agents of Shield, Blade, Cable, Captain Marvel, Deadpool, Doctor Voodoo, Hawkeye, Hulk, Iron Fist, Iron Man, Luke Cage, Miss Marvel, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, She-Hulk, Thor, Vision, War Machine, Wasp, and Wolverine. That's as
yeah,
of recently, that whenever they updated this. Oh, June 22. So about a year ago, this was the updated affiliations list.
yeah. You got a lot. You got a lot of options.
Dude, it's so good. And the thing is, the Avengers. I think there's only I think there's like one other team I saw that does this. They're the only team that has 3 potential leaders. So you can have Steve
Yeah,
Rogers, Sam Wilson, or Hulkbuster as your leaders for Avengers.
yeah, because they all have their special. Even
Yep.
if you're a leader and you share the affiliation, that doesn't necessarily mean you're a leader of that affiliation. If that makes sense. So
Yep.
like Thor is a leader. He's got a leader ability affiliation bonus, but he can be an Avenger, but he just can't lead the Avengers. Does that makes
Right.
sense? Because he'll lead as Guardian, which is man. That's speak of another good, but like at start of each of your turns, one allied character may spend 1 power. If you do, remove 1 damage or 1 special condition from that character. Each allied character may use leadership once per round, and then all as guardians they gain an additional power at the beginning of the turn, so they get
Yeah.
2. So you can like guarantee you're always damage reduction 1. It's pretty good. Like there's some good stuff.
Yeah, and I think for anyone like if you're concerned, like if you're new, if you haven't played, one of my concerns was, okay, if I go up against somebody who's really good at this game, right? Like, are they just going to demolish me, right? Like, am I like in Legion? If you're like completely brand new, there's potential that you're not going to win a tournament at a just because if you walked in like I did and said, "Yeah, this is my first real game of this," chances are you're not going to do. You may win one game, but you're not going to do great. I felt like even the people who are really, really good and know what they're doing, know all the abilities and stuff. I don't feel like it was that much better than where I was at because of the variance of the dice. Like so my second opponent much better than me and was absolutely helping me with my list and like telling me, "Oh wait, no, you should try this. Like this is a much better move." Oh, okay. And so, he was doing everything right, but then I had like a move that he didn't pick for me that I just did, and like all of a sudden my dice just went off and I just started like smashing stuff, with Hulk. And it was just like, oh, okay. And he was like, oh, I didn't see that coming, you know. So like it has that potential to be wild, and I really like that about the game.
You see, we had a very different run.
Okay.
My second opinion was my second opponent was very fun. She was showing me the game she played, like Inhumans, which is kind of rare, I
Oh
guess.
yeah, I played her too. Yeah.
Just saying, my first opponent, yeah, the game ended in a concession by me. It was 15-3. He just destroyed me. It was like no idea what was going on. He's like, yeah, well, I hit all these conditions, so I played this card. Now I get to summon in an extra 4-power hero. I'm like, all right, you win. Like I felt just completely helpless. And
Mm.
then when the games started evening out a little bit more, like when I got to opponents who lost one, like me, I started to have fun. Like I got to play Otis.
Yeah.
That was a great game we had. It was a super close game. Otis, I've been shouting him out in every podcast I'm on this week because he's a road warrior, man. Drives 6 hours to an LVO qualifier. He's the third best like Sentinel player according to Longshanks. Like, gotta pay respect to that.
Yeah.
And Yeah, that was a really good game. Then our game was pretty good. That we ended up playing each other at the end. Like,
Yep.
yeah, that first one did not set a great tone for me. I'm like, oh my god, like I just
Yeah.
got like
And maybe that's
straight flattened. Like,
yeah.
not
And that could be fair, but I feel like I think the other positive thing was I I chanced into the Avengers just because of, more because it looked cool, less of me even like thinking about, even if you wanted to like net deck something, it's impossible. There's not really much out there. Um, but I just kind of lucked into it, and it felt very much like, with a couple tweaks, for those of you that pay attention to us on Legion, I like to play double heavy lists in Star Wars Legion, and it's just kind of a press W list where you just like, I don't know, deal with this. And so with Hulk and a couple other things, that list, the Avengers feel very much like that. So like I think I'm probably gonna put Hulkbuster and She-Hulk in my rotation, and so that I can build that similar like double ATST, double, just like, I don't know, here's
double
Hulk
Hulk.
and Hulkbuster. Good luck.
Yeah.
Or and I got Immortal Hulk too. I don't think he's part of an affiliation right now, but
No, I'm sure he'll like usually before the unit like comes out, Hulk's out. Immortal
yeah, he
Hulk's out.
just
I'm
came
sure
out
he'll
on the
get
14th, I think.
yeah, I'm sure he'll get something. Um, I mean, he has to, right? I guess maybe Immortal Hulk. Maybe that's the Hulk that wasn't.
Yeah, I think he was, but if the rest, so the only reason, so if I keep it all affiliated Avengers, there's your tactics cards. Will say Avenger if this is an Avenger, and
Yep.
they, for instance, they have, I forgot what it's called off the top of my head, but um, oh, hold on, I can look it up. I got Avengers Assemble.
Yeah.
And so basically, it reads, any number of allied Avenger characters may spend 1 power to play this card. Every character spend a power advances a small movement. So like you get a free move, but they have to be Avengers. They
An
can't.
Avenger.
Yeah. So keeping in that list, especially for stuff like that, is a really good thing to do.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, but it was great. I had a lot of fun. I learned so much. I actually did a couple things that people weren't expecting, because I think what happens when you're new to a game or looking at it from the outside, you see something and you're like, "Oh, that's super interesting." And then maybe people have seen it, but it just hasn't had play because, like, so for instance, in my second game, uh, I played the Hulk's Gamma launch, and so basically what it says is during Hulk's activation, if he's within 2 of another allied character that is not holding an asset or civilian token, he may spend 3 power to play this card. Place the other allied card within range 5 of its current position. So basically, he just grabs another character and hucks him across the board. And that was my opening salvo against my second opponent, where I just threw Black Panther at the middle objective, and he was like, I'm sorry, what just did that? It's like, oh yeah, Gamma launch, and he was like, I forgot that was even a card, like because it's not something I
Yeah.
guess people really play, but it's just interesting.
Yeah, I played all Guardian cards. So I brought like you had to bring like 10, so I'm just like, nah, I'm only playing. This is it. This is the gimmick.
Yeah,
Then one of my favorite cards is Lovable Misfits. It's each one can spend an energy, and then you roll a die, and then something random happens. Like sometimes they
yeah,
stun everybody,
yeah.
sometimes they get free attack, sometimes they do this. Then they have like Crew of the Milano, which is everybody like you remove all status effects and they can't be affected by statuses the rest of the round. They've got like some good stuff. And actually, I remember when I was playing before, Drax was like kind of bad, and he was like my MVP this time. It was
Hmm.
just wild. It's the dice. Like I had just crazy rollouts sometimes. But yeah, overall, I do like the game. I'm glad they got rid of some of the really like these have some really lousy objectives. It was
Yeah.
like there's 4 civilians on the table. One of them's a Krull, and a to check the objective, you have to move up and roll 3 dice. And if you get this symbol, it's the Krull, then all the other objectives disappear, and now you have to go run chase that guy down. That sucked.
Yeah.
Because you'd like have 4 or 5 guys on one objective. Nope, 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 nope. And then they move like a long move for like Zemo or something, Baron Zemo over. First roll gets it, then he runs away. You're like,
Yeah.
you win. It was just like that's like all right, that sucks. Like, okay, so they got rid of those like super random objectives just to make them a little bit more like both players feel like they can participate, which is good.
So Tim France is watching on Facebook and commented Hulk just yeets people and then said Guardians have great tactics cards in his opinion and they have
They
a
do.
great kit. Yeah, I mean, yeah, thanks. And hey, I encourage you guys if you are MCP fans and you don't know about the Professional Casual Network, I highly recommend you check them out. They got a ton of great content. They do I think what's Mondays they do like Monday nights they do painting, Tuesday nights they do like a live playthrough of MCP on Twitch and stuff. So definitely check them out. They're great guys and I want to say this now that Tim's in chat and listening. Currently Fifth Trooper is 1-0 against Professional Casuals
Oh.
cuz I beat Dan.
Geez,
Not
all right,
just
here it
beat him,
goes.
I tabled him.
Oh, there it is. There's the I yeah, no, that was it was a good tournament. I look forward to playing again. I look forward to like I the problem is they're all cool characters. Like there's not
Yeah.
like I'm not thrilled. Like I always hoped they wouldn't add just like grunts to the game, and now there's like like the agents of shield. There's like shield agents, and there's Hydra agents, and there's like ninjas that are just like grunts. So I was kind of hoping those would never show up, just so it stayed like people I care about on the table. Um, but then again, I'm also very new to the game, so maybe they're fine. Uh, but yeah, I got to play some more to get more of a hard opinion on it. But I mean, my opinion is I like it. I mean, I spent all that time painting it, and I had a good time with it. So, opinion is game good. I'll need to play more, but with like Shatterpoint around the corner, uh, like guess I'm gonna be doing that, because that's Star Wars. So we'll see how that goes. I got to build and paint those guys, and then I've got started working on the conflict.
Mm-hmm.
I think conflict
Conquest.
started conquest. Yep, started working on those models. They actually go together pretty good. They're pretty big, so they're actually going to be pretty decent to paint. They're not little tiny boys, so they're like they're actually pretty like sizable.
Yeah, they're beefy. Yeah. Tim
that's a
says
plus.
if we come down May 20th, he's going to figure out a way to play so he can crush us. I don't think you know what you're
Please.
doing here, Tim. You throw down a gauntlet like that, I'll literally practice 3 or 4 times a week just to come down and smash your face in and
I'm a
take that LVO invite from you.
LVO invite. Oh God, imagine going to LVO.
I'll do it.
Imagine.
You don't think I won't? What I want to do is I'm going to become super good at this game, become one of the top ones in the. Tim says he won't practice at all. I'm going to become really good, become one of the top players in the game, and then never go on Tim's podcast. And I've been like, no, you want to interview me? You have to do it on mine.
It's gonna be just a standoff. I get more reps in with the Guardians. So I'd like to do well with them in their pure form.
Yep.
Without adding anybody. But then like there's so many things like X-Force looks cool. As Guardians look fun. They all look fun. Like every faction looks like it's cool. And that's like a problem for my wallet.
Yeah.
So I need to like not do that. So I need to be like just stick to my guns on that and then be okay. But no, MCP was a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
look forward to playing it again. Yeah, I know I've said that like 4 or 5 times. My brain's just like my final thoughts were I had a good time. So that's
I
good.
had a good time. I'm gonna play it again. It was a good time. So Tim, I ended up since you're watching, I ended up after Saturday. I literally went home. I ordered Immortal Hulk, the Sam Wilson Captain America and War Machine, and Hulkbuster.
Oh boy.
So I could get those. And then my second opponent, he had this really, really cool list that was all like it was like an attrition list, and it was like Nick Fury and Commandos, the old Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos, Bucky, like all these kind of like shooty type characters, and so I ended up getting a bunch of those as well, just because I really liked just like how that played, and I felt like an Agents of Shield list would be kind of neat to maybe try at one point, because man, Bucky is ridiculous. He's got this thing where he like shoots a couple times, and yeah, Shield is a surprisingly murder squad. Yeah, I mean they've got all these kind of like things that play off of each other, and then Fury comes with like Shield agents that they can pop out and like grab up objectives. It's wild.
Shield 1 LVO out of nowhere.
It was out of nowhere.
RKO out of nowhere.
Oh, I didn't see that coming. This is why I'm going to be a better MCP player than you, because you didn't see that coming.
Oh boy. This is it. You've awoken a monster. He was a sleeping giant.
Yeah, I was fine away from your game, but now you've done it.
But nope, no, I had a good time. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I did actually get to play something else this week. Something
right.
not. So I got to play. Are you familiar with Disney Sorcerer's Arena?
I mean, I'm familiar of it. Like I've heard of it.
It's like a mobile game right now, but they actually made it a board game. And so I bought it when I was Friday night. I was waiting for all of my Friday night. I was at my comic store or my game store, and I was waiting for all of my basing to dry in my Guardians. So I was kind of walking around, and I saw the game. So do you know how Unmatched plays, where you get like a character and you get like a deck with that character?
Yes.
So it's that, but Disney characters.
Oh.
So it's like Gaston and Sorcerer Mickey versus I forget. It's like the bad guy from The Princess and the Frog. And so it's actually pretty good.
Man?
Like, yeah, Voodoo Man. Won't you shake a poor sinner's hands? That's what Jay did to me before I. Yeah, I'll help you.
And now he's 6 podcasts a week.
God, kill me.
Got him.
Just turn me into a frog. But
no,
so
you stay human and do our podcasts.
The game was actually pretty good. So you get a character, you pick up to 3, and then they each come with like a 10-card deck, and you just smash them all together and you shuffle it. And every character's got like generic actions they can do. There's like a initiative flow chart of each character. Actually pretty good. Like the expansions have like Jack Skellington, the evil warlock from Sword in the Stone, and like
Hmm.
the evil mother from Tangled. It's like one of the like character packs, but um, it was pretty solid, and but it was very much like unmatched. And I think if I'm going to play one of those games, I'd rather play unmatched.
Yeah.
But that said, if you don't care about some of the IP that unmatched has, which also they have Marvel now, so like
Snatching
whatever.
up IPs like it's their business over there.
Yeah, good. It's good, dude. That whole stack is just unmatched stuff back there. Uh, it was good. Uh, I'd like to play it again. I'd like to get a couple of the expansions to try it out. Though my gripe was, I was walking around and it was like, I'm like, oh, this game looks pretty good. I'll pick it up. I paid like $50. My store had it $10 more than MSRP, and I didn't know. And so I got home and I'm like on Amazon looking at like, oh, how do I get the expansions? And I'm like, wait a minute, I paid $50 for this. MSRP is 40.
Hmm.
Son of a gun. And so there's some stores do some markup, but like that one usually no. So I think they
Yeah,
just forgot, and I was just the idiot who bought it bought it at full price.
that's funny.
I mean, that's not uncommon for me because I don't always check what I do, but uh no, it was good. It was actually pretty fun.
Hmm.
They actually do tournaments for it too. I think at Adepticon there. No, it was PAX last year. They had a tournament for it,
I
and I thought
find,
that was strange.
yeah, well, I think it's because you can, like, as a DM at any of these events, you can just register a tournament.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then, so, like, idiots like us who have never heard of a game are like, whoa, they run tournaments for this? And it was just some guy local to Chicago or Philadelphia or something that was like,
yeah.
I'm going to have a tournament at PAX for this. And, like, two guys showed up. Like, you, what are you? You're number 3 in the world for what game?
Conflict 47, baby.
Yeah.
Probably not anymore. There's probably been at least one more, but at Nova they had an event, and only 3 of us showed up. And let me put into context how the game works. So in Conflict is a offshoot of Bolt Action.
Yep.
So it's asynchronous turns, sort of. So you take a d6, and each die part of the d6 has a different order. So I'm gonna have my guys run and shoot, and you put that down. And so what you do when you play multiplayer is each of you take your dice and you dump them all into a bag. You shake it all up, and then you take turns randomly pulling out to who goes. Well, I had like 9 activations because I was thinking Legion. I'm like, oh, nine's pretty good. And then I rock up, and the one guy, he played like a German army, had 16, and one guy played an Australian army, had 14. And then my Peasley 9 went in. So we poured all the dice in and we shook it up. But what happened was we pulled all of mine first. So I like all but like 3 of my things went before all of their 16,
Yeah.
and it was just really unlucky. And then like I just got destroyed because I had to move. We put like a cow in the middle of the battlefield. We're like, all guns fire on that cow. And then so like I moved up my robots. Like I was a British. So Conflict 47 is a weird war too. So I was British, and I had like kind of crappy automatons and cybernet like souped up dogs. My buddy actually painted one that looks like
Yeah.
Spuds
What's the
McKenzie.
story? Is something leading into World War II? The Germans like unlock some like supernatural stuff, so then the rest of the world has to like invest in tech that can like fight it, or it's something like that. And
Yeah,
like,
so when they dropped nuclear bombs, the first one that hit, like one hit over America, I think something like that, or Europe, and the Allies. And when the bomb hit, it opened up like a space time portal, and like information started leaking out. And so that's why the Americans, like the Allies, have like robots and mechs and things like that. And the Axis didn't get that, but they got a cult. So like the German team, like I've got a German army that's like zombies and werewolves
yeah,
and stuff like that. And if it the rule set kind of bothers me because it's Bolt Action got like a 2.0 where they kind of like streamlined a lot, but that's like in a 1.5 version, so it's not quite
yeah.
streamlined and good. Uh, I didn't dislike the game. I
Oh,
thought it was pretty good,
yeah.
but there's just no one around who plays it,
Yeah, we
and it's
tried
like
to get into it, but it was like really
it's a
some,
lot.
yeah, and sometimes it's like, so this conquest, what is it? What is something of kings or whatever it
Last
is?
argument of
Last
kings.
Argument of Kings. Um, like everything's so easy and accessible. Like the company's really good about that. They built the list builder. It's on their website with
Yeah.
all the information you need to do that. Like, and some of these games, no offense, MCP is one of those games where things are just it's really hard. Like the list builder, I guess Cerebro, that's the one we use.
It's a lot
It's
to look at.
it's all
Yeah.
right. Like it's an okay list builder, but
Yeah.
like I think that's something in Legion that we
We're spoiled by.
are spoiled by. Yeah, and I know that we do a good chunk of that, but it's one of those things where it's really important to us to like have really good tools. And like the other thing I was really struggling is like finding articles that tell me what the hell anything does in MCP, right? Like it's like, okay, you could go to Bella Lost Souls or what is it, Hammer or whatever, Goonhammer, what is it? Something
Good
Hammer.
hammer. Yep.
Goonhammer. And but they're not in-depth articles. They're just like clickbait. Here's a little bit of information, but you're like,
Yep.
but I already knew that information. Like, I want to go deeper into this, and it's odd to get into other games when we in Legion and 40K, right, is the same
Yep.
way, is done in a certain way where you're just like, oh, okay, and then you're like, yeah, all games would have this, and then you go into other games, you're like, oh, they don't have anything.
Yeah, like Alice.
Malifaux does. They have their own
Yep.
list builder, which is really good, and so anyways.
Like one of our writers, Alice, she also writes for AOS articles. And
Yeah.
so like, we've got a little bit of the insight on that because we can talk to her about it. But like, yeah, there used to be a couple sites I used to read back when MCP first came out, and I don't even know if it's still a podcast. It's like Strike Better was when I was listening to.
Mm.
Let's see. But yeah, there was a few. Okay, so yeah, I guess they're still going. Good for them. Strike Better is, I don't know. None of these have dates on them, so I'm assuming it was recent. Season 4, episode 6. All right. So apparently they're still going. Oh, May 27th. Okay. All right. But
That would have been last year then.
yeah, okay, maybe it did stop. I don't know. Either way,
It's April.
I used to listen to a lot of content for it, and then like it was like, man, I remember when like the hot take of MCP was, man, box set, core set Peter Spider-Man kind of sucks. Like, worst character in the game. Wish he was good. And that was like the discussion, right? Because there wasn't a whole lot to like. I remember it was like, gosh, Crossbones. Oh God, what's his name? The villain, like the villain who comes in the core set. They're like, yeah, he's like low key real good, man. Like, and then he wasn't good anymore. Oh yeah, Crossbones. Yeah, I was right. Like everyone's like, oh, he's bad. No, he's good. Oh, he's bad. And like you kind of go back and forth, and like it was very quaint compared to now where there's 150 characters or something, right?
Yeah.
Like there's just a ton. And it's the nice thing is there's so many that there's probably a niche you can find that's you can make your own quite like like I want to play this affiliation that's got like nobody in it. You can like Red Dawn or whatever God man, I'm butchering it. The one with the bear and Crimson Dynamo. Where's he? Yeah, Winter Guard, that's it. Winter Guard, the Red Line, Unbreakable Red Line, like there's like 4 guys in the affiliation. Like and I don't know too much about the game, but I can tell by looking at some of these stats, like maybe he's not great. Like maybe there's a reason.
Yeah.
But you could play him and with Winter Guard, yeah. You could play him, like and just because you only have 4 characters, you've got plenty of room to add like better things to like shore up your weaknesses. So that's cool, right? You're not like stuck to I can only play Winter Guard in my army, and I only have 4 guys, and this is
Yeah.
my life until they release more. Nope, you can put in Doctor Strange if you want, or whoever you want. So
I think
that's pretty cool.
it's a good way of doing it, and I guess Shatterpoint's gonna have a similar. You can't mix up eras, so you can't do the Civil War era and the Clone Wars era. You have to do just within the Wars era. So like Anakin can run with like B1s and stuff. But
Very strange.
yeah, but
Like I gotta break my mind from it because that's the way not to think about it is like they're all toys in the toolbox,
yeah,
right? But it's just like you're so ingrained that like he didn't work with B1s. Like Kalani, he's
yeah,
a bad
right.
guy.
That part even like and where because. And I guess, I heard, I think maybe Tim said it over the weekend was just like, well, everyone's teamed up with someone in the comics, and it's true, right? Like at
Yep.
one point, I think in recent run, because like I said, I don't read the comics anymore, but I keep tabs on it, and I think in a recent run, Thanos was part of Avengers and part of Guardians of the Galaxy at some point.
Oh,
Like,
probably a what if maybe.
yeah, or no, or there's some bigger bad that like came up, and so they had to like resurrect Thanos to like be part of like the team to fight whatever the bigger bad was. Like that always seems to be a thing. Like, oh god, like this guy's gonna rewrite the entire multiverse, so all the bad guys are like, well, you don't get to do that. I get to do that. I'm gonna be on the good guys team this time. Doctor Doom did that a lot. He was
Yeah.
always like trading sides
Well,
depending
they've
on what
got
was
he was
going
Iron
on.
Man for a while. That's like
Yeah,
my favorite run of Iron Man. Was he Invincible Iron Man? Maybe no. The
I don't remember.
the infamous Iron Man. That's it. So it was uh you always I'm going no matter how temporary Ahsoka and Maul are a great example. Yeah, man, superior Iron Man. Yeah, that was one of my favorite runs. So I'd like to see that happen.
And that was
Uh,
Superior Spider-Man was when Doc Ock took over
yep.
yeah, they switched bodies.
And so there's some cool stuff. They've got a lot untapped, like Fantastic Four. Well, Human Torch is in there, but like they're coming. But it made me think. I'm like, I was playing this game, and all I could think of was like, man, I wish DC got this treatment.
Yeah,
Like, it'd be really cool to have like,
the
uh,
Bat family.
yeah, I don't know, like you could. I mean, DC and Marvel will never be cool together, right? They're like
Well, that's
the
not
battle
true.
lines are drawn.
WizKids does it with HeroClix.
I mean, like a good game though that people care about.
It's dark. It's real dark.
Maybe. Hey, look, it's a. I love buying random pieces of plastic that I have to throw away for one model too. Uh, but it'd be cool to see like it'd be cool to see Batman on the table. Like I know it doesn't quite line
Yeah.
up with how it works, but it'd be fun, man.
I mean,
That's always an avenue.
it. I don't. I got to play Shatterpoint more, so I'm kind of reserving. But it surprised me that I thought Shatterpoint would just be a Marvel Crisis Protocol like
Yeah,
reskin, but with Star Wars, and I was like, oh, that would make sense. The rule set's already there. You just reskin it, make it Star Wars, and off you go. And I mean, it's not unheard of for games to be reskinned for other IP. Like,
yep.
so I mean, I don't know. It seems to me that you could absolutely reskin Crisis Protocol and make it DC, and you're gonna have to change a couple little things, but I think you could have all these affiliations. You could have, I mean, it would be great.
There's a.
I agree.
I mean, we'll look at Unmatched. It was originally what Jedi Power Battle, I
Yeah.
think. And they just did this. Red Dawn was a war movie. Yeah, uh, it was. I had to watch it in college actually, for a movie class. Red Dawn of all movies. And then there's a mini Batman game. There is. I forget who makes it. It's big everywhere but like America. I've
Yeah.
never seen anyone play it here, but I know it was at Adepticon. But I didn't see anybody playing it. It might have been put in another room, like way deep in the place. Uh, there is, but like it's not like there's a Batman miniature game, and then there's Marvel Crisis Protocol, and one of them is
And the fact that you
gets
said there's a Batman mini game
and
is the
not
difference between the two. You didn't even say
yeah
the
right.
name.
Like one of them is like a well known
Right.
thing. But no, I'm excited for the future of that.
But
Like
no.
yeah, but no, but nah.
Nah, dog. No.
Nah, dog. Not today.
I'm excited. I really like MCP. I've gotten some more models. I'm gonna figure out what my lineup's gonna be here. I'm trying to convince the wife. I already told her about the 20th. And so I told her that I have to go down there and defend her honor because Tim was saying filthy things about her. So I'm
That's how you're doing
hoping,
it. That's your angle.
yeah, I'll try anything I can. No, I told her and she seemed fine with it. Actually, it's really funny. For the first time, listen, I love my wife. We love spending time together, and I'm the one that's usually like, yeah, I'm good. I'll see you. And like I want to go do something. And she's usually like, oh, we need to spend more time. But for the first time, when I got back from that tournament this Saturday, she goes, you know, you're right. It was really nice to like have a day where I could like go get my nails done and do the things I wanted to do and like not have to think about like being home at a certain time to like hang out. And
Taking care of the old
I'm
Shalansky.
like, you're welcome. You're welcome. We should do this every week. Okay, bye.
Yo, I told you that Mexican place was good though.
Yeah. Well, it was good because it
Guadalajara.
was cheap. That's why we walked out of there for like almost nothing. We
Yeah,
almost
I
we
mean,
almost robbed
well,
the place. It was crazy.
that was yeah, like a bucket of beers, my food, and I think something else I got was like $60. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, there's this other Mexican place that Rachel and I really like going to that's not very local but close enough to us that's like we can walk out of there, each have a drink or two with dinner, and it's like 60 or $65 for the both of us. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's got my back.
Mexican's the best. I love Mexican food.
I mean, it's no Unos. Oh, Patrick Murphy. Oh, there he is.
A wild Patrick Murphy appeared.
Yeah, he's uh a Patrick Murphy does movie podcasts. You should go check that out. Recommendable. Another show he does. Also really big, cool board game dude. Also, it is true. It's no
What do you mean by
Unos.
big, Evan? What is that supposed to mean? He's a really big, cool board game dude. What does
I,
that mean exactly? I want you to explain that to everyone right
he's
now.
got a lot of board games. That's what I was
Pat,
talking about.
ask him to explain it, Pat.
Not like this. Not like this. But I the random long. Oh God. So okay, real quick on that.
Story time.
Yeah. So we were. This was Gen Con last year, and we. So the joke that Pat and I are like, any big con we generally go together, and the joke is we go to an Uno's because they're kind of like they're a step up from an Applebee's, but not like too high. And you get one of those greasy deep dish pizzas, and you can kind of zone out. It's always going to be empty. There's some bonuses to Uno's. Got a lot of board games. Let's be honest. Oh, Pat, no.
Aw.
Um, uh, so we and Grammer was with us in the chat there, and he was kicking and screaming about having to go to a deep dish pizza because he's got a whole tirade about how they're not real pizza and
Mhm.
this and that. So I'm like,
I mean, I agree. Deep dish is not real pizza, but go on.
too bad. I'm driving. We're going to Uno's because Pat and I were really jazzed for Uno's. So we're like, ooh, Uno's, ooh, no. So we take the GPS. It was like 20 minutes away from our hotel. We drive out. It had been a long day. Like I played Legion all day. I was kind of just like in that like brain done zone. And so we take GPS, get to the Uno's. We pull in, we park, we walk in, and there's a lot of like Western stuff on the walls. I'm like, wow, that's it's kind of weird for an Uno's. And then we sit down, and then we're all like, I'm looking at the menu, and I'm like, steak. What? And I'm like looking back and forth, like at the top. I'm like, son of a bitch, this is a Longhorn Steakhouse. We parked; they were right next to each other. We walked in the wrong one because by side they didn't have signs. And then they're like, do we just get up and go? And I'm like, no, we were here. We're gonna be here. We're gonna eat a Longhorn Steakhouse.
Oh, God.
And it was kind of mid, but yeah,
Yeah,
we were so
Evan and Pat have these weird rituals for like any kind of shows. The other one is I don't know
Tully's.
if this is a international thing, but or even national thing. I think it's a northeastern thing. But northeastern, we have a restaurant called Tully's, and they make chicken tenders that are supposed to be really good. And Evan and Pat, if we're traveling and there's a Tully's somewhere
Tendies.
on the way, it's happening. Like we're going to that Tully's.
I'm going to be even more specific. There's one Tully's we go to in Clark Summit, Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's when we're going south. Well, I've been to
Yes.
3 different ones with you, so I haven't been to just one. It's not like you just go to the one in Clark Summit. I've been to the one in Watertown with you guys. I've been to the one in Syracuse with you guys. Like it's just
My guy, I can get a Tully's tender plate for $12 and
Pat says,
a
"Want them
large Bud
tendies."
Light for $5. Want them tendies. You get tendies on the way to keep your spirits up for the ride, and then
Yeah.
if you won your tournaments, you have a celebratory tender dinner, and if you lost, you have a consolatory tender dinner. Either way, like you just win either way, Jay. I don't even know why it's a problem.
I have something to
casserole.
say about this.
Uh-oh.
I don't actually like their tenders.
This
I usually get them just so you guys don't like have a fit while I'm there, but they're not that great.
It's gonna be a real awkward 5 minutes at the end here. I'm just gonna play Pac-Man. You finish it out, all right? I'm done. I'm out. All right, see you.
I don't even care.
I don't even care.
It's
I don't
fine.
even care.
Go sulk in the corner, you whiny baby.
I will. What kind of
but,
casserole? Maybe
yeah.
lasagna. Yeah, like
Yeah.
next Fifth Trooper podcast, I'll let Grammar just go right off the rails, and he'll just go full.
Listen, we're from New York.
What's the best Tully's dipping sauce?
None, because their tenders are disgusting.
Honey mustard, absolutely honey mustard.
Oh, dude, mustard's the worst. Mustard can take
You
a
don't,
flying
man. Your
F right
opinion,
off the
my
side
opinion
of a
of you
building.
is just nosediving right now. Like, the plane saying, "Pull up, pull up."
You know,
and Jay's
mustard
just,
is the
like,
thing
going
they
down.
used to gas people with, right? Like mustard is the worst.
And it's also delicious. All right. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up.
Oh God, yeah. I remember we were in Chicago at Adepticon, and some of the team is from England, AJ and his wife, and we took him out to a team dinner, and we went to a deep dish place because listen, deep dish is good in Chicago, and it's not pizza, but it's good, whatever it is. And so casserole, lasagna, whatever you want to call it, as Tim called it in Twitch, but like, you know. We go and they're like, so this is pizza? I go, no. This is garbage. This is casserole or something else. You got to come to New York for pizza. That's where real pizza's from. And then I think there was a guy there who's Italian. He goes, what? so, so yeah, everybody's got their food. Evan's a tendy man, I guess.
Look, Tully's tendies is pretty good. You got to depends where you go. All right, you gotta
I love how
choice.
you're already like downgrading it. Once I said I didn't like it and it's pretty junk, you're like, well, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. It's not great anymore. It's just pretty good. Interesting.
It's always okay.
Interesting how that
this.
means it's not good because now I can convince you otherwise.
Nope. Not happening. I get free popcorn when I walk in there. I get
that has nothing to do with the tenders.
It's part of the whole experience, Jay.
You're telling me those are the best tenders you've ever had?
Best tenders? Yes.
Those are the best tenders you've ever had in your whole
Chicken
life.
tenders are kind of like a low bar, right? They're not like the bread and chicken deep fried. Like are we talking like chicken in general, fried chicken, or are we talking tenders?
Do you remember those tendy sandwiches we had out in Rochester?
Yeah. Well, I like them, but I get free popcorn. Great, pretty good. Well, wow, jeez. That sandwich was pretty good, but that was a sandwich. That wasn't a plate of.
I love that Tim's on my side on the Tim, you heard that. Everyone heard this. He completely downgraded.
I am not downgrading those tenders. And Tim, I will remember this.
Nick in YouTube asked if I've ever had St. Louis. I haven't. Somebody else recommended that to me, so I've never been to St. Louis. I would love to go to St. Louis. I'll come out and visit you, Nick, since you're close.
Rochester is a classy city. It is classy.
Rochester's the classiest city.
It's I was with Evan until he hits it. Honey mustard. That's was a contender.
Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
do you mean? In Tully's,
Honey mustard is garbage. This whole
Wow.
conversation is garbage.
Wow. This is
Your choice in food is no longer respected.
what? How dare you? Look. This is. You know what?
Next thing
Been
we're
an
gonna be
hour.
saying. Next thing you're gonna tell us you like pineapple on pizza, you animal.
I do.
Oh,
I love
what,
that.
what the hell? What the hell is going on? Oh my god! Oh, you guys got to remember, he's a raccoon. He eats trash for a living, so he doesn't
Wow,
really.
for a living.
He doesn't know.
That's my joke. Wow. Tully just knows some chicken. Evan, what the come on?
Yeah.
Ham and pineapple and pizza's great. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why it
Dude,
became like
you are a
thing.
psychopath. Like
What? A psychopath. Yo, real quick though, have you had Toss and Fires where they put salt potatoes on a pizza? That's
No.
pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty excellent.
For
They have,
those
like,
of you
Syracuse
not
special.
from New York, salt potatoes are basically these little potatoes that you boil in salt water and then put tons of butter on.
They're pretty good. Salt potato pizza is pretty excellent.
That's a Syracuse thing, like an upstate.
Yes. Do you remember when they like, for whatever reason, let the internet name our amateur baseball team, and
Yep.
they named them the Syracuse Salt Potatoes? And as they walked out
Yep.
of the stadium, they had to slap a bag of salt potatoes.
Yep.
It was oof, that was some dark times, man. Letting the internet name things always good, always a good idea.
Yeah. Why, Evan? Why?
Why though?
You've completely disgusted me.
Oh my god.
You know?
Y'all mad about pineapple and pizza. We got people who keep the ketchup on eggs and mac and cheese. That's
Oh,
true.
dude.
That I don't do. That I won't do. I won't put ketchup on eggs or macaroni and
Oh
cheese.
my god, no. Jeez Louise.
See, the fallout of Usher's got my back.
No, he doesn't. He does not. He does not.
He does not.
They do not.
Like,
I don't know.
I won't put ketchup on any of that. That's a little much. I mean, if it's on a garbage
that-
plate, I guess.
Oh, now see, there's always a qualification with Evan. It was absolutely not, and then it was like, well, if
on a
it's
garbage plate, you
part of
can't,
this,
like-
I might. You know,
You can't
it's
get
always,
rid of that garbage plate.
for those of you not from upstate New York, a garbage plate is something out of Rochester where they just put literally everything into one dish. It's got meats and mac and cheese and everything.
ketchup on spaghetti is okay.
I'm waiting for Evan to tell us that he like uses orange juice on his cereal or something. This guy's a maniac. Like
I tried
anything.
that once. I tried that once.
You
No,
tried it
no,
once?
Yeah,
No one
nope.
tried that once. You maniac.
Nope. Yeah. that's
Evan's out of his. Oh my god, you're out of your mind.
bad. I was killing two birds with one stone. My time, Jay. I had to speed up my time.
Don't you understand how much time I'll save if I have this cereal and orange juice at the same time? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I tried that once. I had a friend who swore by it, and then I tried. I'm like, no, this is crossed the line.
He's a monster. Swore by it. You mean he did it more than once?
Do you drink so cheated Pelicans after brushing? Did Spaghetti on Ketchup, wasn't that a goofy movie thing or Goof Troop? Ah, God, I want to say that was a goofy thing. But,
I know
He-
maple syrup on spaghetti. That's from Elf.
but no, won't do that.
Oh
Won't do
my
that.
God, Evan, the atrocities, the food atrocities this man has
Hot
committed.
take: peanut butter on hamburger is good. Yeah, no, peanut butter on hamburger is great.
Yeah, they do. If not combined with they do peanut butter and jelly burgers. I think the first one I ever had was in Denver, Colorado, and then it kind of started moving out. And there's a couple places around here that do it. They do like I don't know what kind of like a nice, like not super sweet peanut butter, and then they do like an elderberry jam. Oh man, it's so good.
Yeah, there used to be a place called Cheeseburger.
Oh yeah,
And I don't know if they're around. I think they're gone. But
not
yeah, I
up
used
here
to-
anymore.
Yeah. Now we got it back. You know what? Tim, I thought we were cool, man. I thought we were cool.
He did
Now,
too
Tim,
until you start talking crazy.
look,
He's like, I really like Evan, and then Evan started talking crazy talk, and he's like, never mind. I told
Jay,
you,
look,
Tim, you got to be careful with this
when the
Evan.
apocalypse happens and all that's left is a pineapple on pizza, the only thing that survived the nuclear bombs,
You think that's
I'll
all that's
thrive.
gonna be left?
I'll thrive, and you'll be gone. You won't eat it.
I'll
You'll
be fine. I'm just gonna eat everything around here.
just dirt,
Yeah.
trees. That fox, maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If I ever get that fox, he's a dead fox. I'm gonna.
You
get
can't
some...
kill him now. He's like the mascot of your podcast. I still stand for him, but like tonight, come on. Oh man.
Yeah, like, and everybody messages me, why am I so mean to Evan on the podcast? Because you guys don't know the real Evan. This is the
real
insanity you have to deal with when you're Evan's friend.
Real Evan.
Pineapple on pizza. This guy orders insane stuff.
You know what? I live my life. All right. I live my life. What are you gonna do?
Oh, I don't know, Evan. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Actually, I do. I'm gonna end this stream here in a couple
All right.
minutes. That's what I'm
All
gonna
right.
do for sure.
Man. Peanut butter and bacon on a pretzel. Yeah, peanut butter and bacon on a pretzel bun was really
Yeah.
good. I think I had something very similar. Yeah, cheeseburger. Cheeseburger used to have the thing where it was like a giant burger. If you ate it, you got a shirt or something.
And your picture up on the wall, and it was
Yeah,
pretty.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That place, they had good shakes there. It's been a long time. But yeah, I think overall from this podcast, I think the one thing you guys can well, two things. I got two takeaways. One, MCP, pretty good. And number two, Evan, maniac. Those are your takeaways.
Man, that hurt. That hit me deep. I'm over here just like living my best life, trying to be an icon in the community, and then I get hit with this. I just get 20
An
minutes. of
icon in
shellac.
the wow. I gotta get you off a couple of these podcasts. Your ego is exploding. An
Oh, we
icon
got
of the
that.
community.
Look, not everyone can be a wizard handing out Miller Lights at Adepticon, Jay. All right, that's.
I'm an icon. Drink it.
Come to the wizard. Yeah, stay a while and listen and have a Miller Light. I need to get rid of these.
Yeah, Tim, you did get downgraded to pretty good, you nerd.
Got some pretty good, like Tully Tenders.
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, MCP is a good game. I got to play it more, I think. I'm real high on the 4 games that we had, but I think Evan's right. If I had a game like his first game, I wouldn't be as happy about this. So so I've got to get a few more games in and take
That first
my
game was a
yeah.
beating.
take my beatings and see if I'm still as happy about the game.
We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
just keep playing, Jay.
Yeah,
Fine.
that's all we do. We just keep moving forward, pal. All right. Well, I am going to yeah, Evan's first game opponent was not nice. Yeah. So I heard. So I think what we're going to do is wind this down. We're going to talk more next week about games. I'm going to go watch The Mandalorian final episode now. I'm really excited about that.
He's a trooper. How many points are you up? 15. What's the limit? 16.
I will say that is the
Oh.
nice thing about MCP2 is they have a point limit. So once
Yeah,
once
it's a
you reach
mercy
it,
rule.
yeah,
It's
mercy
not a point
ruling.
limit, Jay. It's a mercy rule. It's
Mercy
like,
ruling, yeah.
please,
It's like in Little
please.
League Baseball when the other team's up by 18. They're like, yeah, we're
call
just
it.
going to call it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.
So, all right, everybody. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for listening. If you like what you hear on this podcast or on any of our podcasts, we do have a Patreon that supports all our content creators. It's patreon.com/thefifthtrooper. You can check that out. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening. Thanks for indulging Evan's insanity. And thanks for playing MCP with me. Evan, say your line, Evan. This is where you,
Say the line,
Mr.
Bart.
Icon, go ahead.
You like what you heard? Talked about gross food. Yeah, this was supposed to be a game podcast.
Shut up, Fall of Usher.
Then
Get
it
outta
turned
here.
into a gross food podcast.
You know what? You don't come to the Patreon. You stay right where you are.
We appreciate you showing up, Fall of Usher. But for real though, had my back. All right, everybody, stay rad, hang loose. We'll catch you next time, and hopefully we'll have played anything at all.
Something other game, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
something else.